to another series video. Um, what series are we reading today? Am I currently still reading 3 other series right now? Yes. The series we are starting next is Percy Jackson. And this is a long spiel of a series. Let's just throw that one out there. Now, I know I have, yeah, okay, I knew I had an image on here, which I will put on the screen for you guys. And, it, it does have the denotations of which series things belong to, and this vlog is going to encompass just Percy Jackson and the Olympians. So I'm going to start with, Lightning Thief, and I can tell you that, the Demigod Files I will be skipping, so we will just be going straight into the Lightning Thief, and then I'll read Sea of Monsters, Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth. I'll be skipping, the Demigod Files ones through here again, most likely. I may read them myself, but I will not vlog those ones. We'll go into The Last Olympian. And then again, I will not vlog these little complimentary books down here, like The Singer of Apollo and Staff of Hermes. We will skip that. But then we will go down and I will read all of the Heroes of Olympus books too. So I already know this vlog is going to take a while to come out because I'm going to read both series, but I will be skipping all the Kane Chronicles that will not be part of this. I reread Kane Chronicles last year, and it's not my favorite Riordan series. It's honestly probably my least favorite because I've only read 3. I've only read Percy Jackson, Kane, and Heroes. And I read the first Magnus Chase book, but that's as far as I got, and I stopped reading until, I'm like, Rick, I just need you to release all the books. I can't keep going through this anxiety. But here I am going through this anxiety again as he releases new books. So, we will get started with Percy Jackson here. I have started it, and I'm only a little way in so far. So I'm only on page 7, but it's only 8:30, so we're for sure going to read for at least 1 more hour. Maybe an hour and a half. So I'm gonna get into that. You know what? I never gave y'all a summary. If you guys have been living under a rock and don't know what the Lightning Thief is or Percy Jackson, I feel like you've been living under a rock because this book has been out since 2005, and honestly, in my opinion, it's one of the best children's book series, middle grade series of all times, and we fall in love with reading. But in this book, our very first installment, we meet Mr. Percy here, who lives with his mom and his stepfather part of the time. He gets sent off to all these boarding schools during the school year, and it's he's a troubled kid. He is dyslexic, he has ADHD, he keeps getting kicked out of these schools. He's expelled every year from a school. Let's just say that. And we are beginning at the beginning of his, well, not the beginning, but we're in his 6th year of school. So we're in 6th grade right now. And he meets his lovely friend Grover, who is the only friend he's ever had. And you know what? He's still struggling in school, but he's managing. He's not doing horrible. And we start off with a trip to a museum in New York City from his boarding school. He's from New York. He's debating about going home. And then he gets attacked by his demon math teacher. And when he brings it up to everyone is just staring at him like he's crazy. So he then spends the rest of the school year very confused about his life. And eventually, at the end of his school year, the demons come back to get him. And then it goes on this little adventure. Him and his mom get attacked. His mom gets taken by a monster. It's the Minotaur. Where did he come from? Percy has no clue. He gets dropped off at this Camp Half-Blood. And there, Percy learns that his dad is not dead or lost at sea, like his mother told him. His dad is Poseidon, the sea god. And this book then takes him on a quest because Zeus and Poseidon are quarreling because Zeus is sure that Poseidon has stolen the Master Bolt. And then they find out, oh look, Poseidon claimed his son. It's clearly his son who took the bolt for him. And then it's a journey because they think Hades has the bolt actually. A little three-way sibling feud, normal things, normal things. So Percy and his friends Annabeth and Grover are going to go across the country from New York to LA to recover the Master Bolt, only to find out Hades does not have the Master Bolt and that someone else has stolen it. And they have to get back to New York and recover the Master Bolt for Zeus. And, not get killed in the process. They meet a lot of demons along the way. Medusa, some little robot spiders. They got Ares that comes along the way. You know, they also get stuck in a hotel. Normal things for them. But this is the start of an amazing series. So, we're gonna read it, obviously. It's been a week, but I finished The Lightning Thief. And it normally wouldn't take me this long to finish it, but I had some library books that I had to finish because I was on the wait list for way too long. One of them was since December, and one of them was since January, and into September. I waited way too long. I had to read the books. Because, I couldn't renew them, and I'm not sitting on that wait list again. You feel me? But we finished The Lightning Thief last night. And Rick just writes very relatable characters. This is the book that made me fall in love with reading when I was 12. And now I'm 25 and I'm still laughing at some of the stuff he wrote. And the chapter titles, We Take a Zebra to Vegas. What? He catches people with these chapter titles. Who writes that kind of stuff? You know what? Rick does. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time. It's clearly another 5 stars. I prefer these covers over all the other covers, though, because I think the new covers kind of suck. You know what? I think they kind of suck, low-key. I hate them. These are the best covers, in my opinion. Although, ignore the fact that it's a very old copy. You gotta give me props for having the same copy for 12 years and reading this almost every year. And that's the only damage I have from it. Because, I don't think they publish this version anymore. And that's sad because this is the version that's my favorite. This cover. So we finished it. Loved it. It's a nice little setup, and knowing what's gonna happen later in the series, you can see all the little Easter eggs that Rick peppered throughout that's leading up to the last Olympian. It'll be interesting next year to go back and read it again and see what little Easter eggs he's maybe put in about the new book that's coming out, Chalice of the Gods. It'll be interesting to see if there's any Easter eggs that you can find throughout the rest of the series for it. But we will be starting Sea of Monsters shortly. I do have one book I need to read so that I can finish another vlog so that vlog can go up because it's been forever. I meant to put out an installment every other month and it's been 4 months. So I do need to finish that book first. And then we will jump in to Sea of Monsters and probably right afterwards Titan's Curse. That's the game plan so far. Sitting on my lap makes everything so simple for this. I do not currently have the book, but Sea of Monsters is the one we read here. And I started this a few days ago and I just finished it. And Sea of Monsters, we're back at it with Percy and he gets expelled from another school. Typical. But he also meets a friend named Tyson. And after, Percy destroys the school, Tyson, Annabeth, who was showed up under her invisibility cap, and Tyson all journey to Camp Half-Blood, where the camp is under attack because the tree that guards the magical borders around it is dying because it's been poisoned. And therefore, our dear Percy cannot keep himself out of trouble and escapes the camp in the middle of the night to find the Golden Fleece. Also to save his friend Grover, who has also found the Golden Fleece, but Grover's off in the Sea of Monsters at this point, which the Sea of Monsters, by the way, is the Bermuda Triangle, which is, explains why all the weird things happen in the Bermuda Triangle. So they go ahead and they make their journey south from New York off the coast of Florida into our Bermuda Triangle. Percy gets turned into a guinea pig. Casual things happen. They find the Golden Fleece. Clarice tags along because it's actually Clarice's quest, but Percy's over here hijacking it. Typical. He's over here hijacking this quest, and yeah, they get the Golden Fleece and then stay at the camp. Brief summary. I enjoyed this. I have a fun time. I laugh I was gonna put this book up. This is not the book though. I love Rick's writing. Like he just writes characters in such a lovable way, and it's so nostalgic for me. And it's just like some of those comments that just kill me. Like I don't know, just like Percy's a guinea pig. And he's like, it's this thought process. It's just so funny, and I love it. And I'm like laughing, and like nobody can see the words, and I can't even pull it up. Say I put the book away already, like an idiot. But like it's just so funny to me and so heartwarming. Like it just warms my heart, and I needed that because like my last book was a 1 star, and I just needed that little heartwarming like hug that Rick gives with his writing. And I will be continuing soon with Titan's Curse because like my goal was to finish before, book 6 came out, But now we're gonna do the TV show. How about that? Is that a good plan? That gives me a little bit of time, right?
Hi, friends. I am currently in the middle of reading Battle of the Labyrinth, and then I realized I never filmed any vlog updates for Titan's Curse. So I read this back in April, and I know I started this vlog back in like September, but like I reread Titan's Curse here back in April. It's currently June, so that tells you how great I am on time and how great I am with let's start 10 vlogs and see how it goes. It clearly doesn't go well. Titan's Curse is there we go. Titan's Curse is my least favorite in the original 5-book Percy Jackson series. Still a 5-star, don't get me wrong, but it is my least favorite. If I were to rank them, I would say Battle of the Labyrinth, Last Olympian, Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, then Titan's Curse. Simply because I'm not like a huge Thalia fan. She gets introduced at the end of the last book, and then she is brought into this one and more as a major player. And I'm just like not a fan of her, okay? Even after I've read the book like how many times, I'm like still not a huge fan of her. So there's that to contend with. We are introduced to one of my favorite characters in the series, which is Nico D'Angelo. And he's just brought up like a little smidgen bit in here. And he gets brought up, as the series progresses, he gets brought up more. But we are introduced to him in this book, and like I love him. Like, he's so cute. But since I forgot to vlog this one, let me read you the synopsis so we can summarize. When Percy Jackson receives an urgent distress call from his friend Grover, he immediately prepares for battle. Of course, why wouldn't you? He knows he'll need his powerful demigod allies at his side, his trustworthy bronze sword Riptide, and a ride from his mom. Duh, because we're 14-year-olds. How else are we gonna get there, guys? The demigod race to the rescue to find that Grover has made an important discovery. 2 new powerful half-bloods whose parentage is unknown. Well, spoiler alert, powerful means probably a major gun, don't you think? But that is not all that awaits them. The Titan Lord Kronos has set up a devious trap, and the young heroes have just fallen prey. Hilarious and action-packed, this third adventure in the series finds Percy faced with his most dangerous challenge yet, the chilling prophecy of the Titan's Curse. So, like I said, we're introduced to some new characters. I mean, Thalia was introduced at the end of the last one, but we really get introduced to her more so in this book than anything else. And there's more than just her. We also get introduced to the D'Angelos, who we do hear from in other books. But we also get a bit more of the romance subplot. And through this first 5 books, we really don't get too much of the romance subplot. Like, it starts to develop, but it's not like a major focus. It's just kind of in there, and let me tell you, Percy and Annabeth are one of the cutest couples ever to me. So, we kind of get a little sneak peek at that, and I think you got to start to see how Percy is maturing and how he starts to develop his feelings for Annabeth, which we are going to delve more into. It starts to get more and more as we go through the books, so I'm excited to continue. Alright, I have started the next installment in Percy Jackson. Again, reread series. I reread this book series every year. We are on book 4, Battle of the Labyrinth. And I just got the chapter 5, so a decent chunk so far here tonight. And I just wanted to say, I like the setup for this one. This is probably my favorite one in the series, admittedly. And I really like the setup so far with them going into the labyrinth and learning a little bit of like the history. We're going into our quest, but I just wanted to come on to say, like, rereading this, you find stuff that you don't think twice of until you reread the series. And it just mentioned the spies for Kronos and his army with like Luke and stuff. So that is important to keep in mind here, because we are going to find out more about the spy one later in this book / then next book. It's just one of the little things where I noticed like a little bit of foreshadowing that you don't pick up on your first read necessarily, because you're not going to know that that's important. But I would like to say that that is important, a little bit of foreshadowing here. And I think I'm going to be able to make decent progress on this book tonight. My goal is to get to chapter 12, which is a little over 200 pages. So I'm already like 82 pages in, and we've only been reading for like 45-ish minutes. So I think we're going to be able to make some decent progress, because it's not even 9 p.m. yet. So here we go. This is also fairly easy to digest because it is middle grade. So I am really enjoying this reread so far. It's me. I'm back again. We've only read like 4 more pages since my last update, but I just wanted to say, we are a little bit of a spoiler. We are at the part where Nico is trying to summon the dead, and he's using Coke and McDonald's to do so. And one, I would like to know how he put a 12-pack of Coke into a Walmart bag. Like 12, like, and it says cans. Like, it says he popped open a can. You cannot put a 12-pack in a Walmart bag and carry that around. There's no way in hell it ever fits that much in a bag. You're not. There's no way. There's no way. I'm like thinking about the 12-pack of Dr. Pepper I have in my fridge. There's no way that ever fit into a Walmart bag. What really made me want to come on here is that the McDonald's part. So he's using a McDonald's Happy Meal, and it says, "In my day, we use animal blood," the ghost mumbled. "It's perfectly good enough. They can't taste the difference." And Nico says, "I will treat them with respect." In what world does feeding someone or something McDonald's equal respect? A Happy Meal. But you know what? I could appreciate if somebody bought me McDonald's, because you know what? If you bought me like a 10-piece nugget, I would be pretty happy with my life. Alright, we have finished Battle of the Labyrinth. Again, 5 stars. Everything in this series is 5 stars. Okay, like, you're not going to convince me of any other option. Sorry, I just got distracted on the back because it gives you the price, which, you know, when I bought these books back in 2012, they only cost $7.99 US, and it says /price higher in Canada. It doesn't even give you a Canadian price, it just says price higher. What the fuck? I love this book. I like that we get more of Nico. Like, Nico is probably hands down one of my favorite characters. I know I've said that before. Nico is one of my favorite characters of all time. We also meet a character named Ethan, and he's going to be important later on. So, lock that up here, guys, okay? But I just appreciate Rick's humor and how easy it is to read these books and digest them. And I will say, I don't like the new covers. I like these covers the best, because the new covers, I'm sorry, are kind of ugly. But I really did enjoy this. We also get to hear more from Rachel, and Rachel is also key character here. Going to play a bigger role coming up. But so far, you know, so good. I really did enjoy it. There's some more action in this one than I feel like the other ones. Hence the name Battle. I just feel like we get more fights. Because, I mean, we had some fights, you know, in books 1 and 2 and 3 and stuff. But I feel like there's just more and more details, which I feel like is Rick setting up for Heroes of Olympus, where we get much more detail. I mean, you gotta look at them. The books go from, like, being this size to, like, 500-page books for Heroes of Olympus. So I feel like he's just trying to gear up to getting into some longer books. My goal is to go ahead and pick up The Last Olympian relatively soon. But, again, look at me. I started this vlog in September, and here we are in June. So, who knows? We finished the last book in the original 5 books of the Percy Jackson series. You know, I've reread this, like, 14+ times at this point. And let me tell you, I don't know why, This one made me so emotional reading it this time. Like, I got to, like, the last 50 pages, and I was, like, wanted to tear up, and I'm like, I don't remember doing that before. It's not like, oh, it's because I know what happens next, because I've read Heroes of Olympus before, too. So I don't know why I was getting so emotional. Is it because, for, like, the first time in, like, 14 years, I've actually had my emotions more regulated because we finally found a medication that works for me? Maybe. Maybe that's it. But the ending made me very emotional, especially just thinking about how Percy had to light up the Empire State Building to let his mom know that he's okay and that he's still alive. And just the touching moments with Poseidon and Percy made me want to tear up. 5 stars. Beautiful. Loved it so much. Clearly, it deserves nothing less than 5. I love the series. Like I said, I don't know if I've mentioned, I mean, I've probably mentioned it at this point. This has been a very long project because my reread has taken me a very long time with all the chaos that's been going on in my life. But, like, this is such a comforting series. Like, I would not be the reader I am today without this book series. This is the series that made me fall in love with reading. You can tell that my book is a little worn because, 1, look at the spine. 2, the cover is bent in multiple spots because I've had this book. This is the book, or the only book I own, like, book series I own that has been with me since I was 12 years old. And I will be 26 in a month. Like, I've had, like, I just need you guys to understand, this is the series that, like, has really, really touched me from that young age, and, like, I can still just sit down and read it. Like, it's been super chaotic, but, like, I can sit down and read this entire book in a day if I really had the time to, but like I said, it was very chaotic, especially the last few months. It's been very chaotic, but, like, the chaos should tone down, so we should be able to read more. 5 stars. Love this series. We're gonna move on to Heroes of Olympus next.